feel being on Sparkle with Christy?
Amazing, I'm having a good time. You see, I'm drinking. I can't wait to start.
Alright, cool. Thank you so much for being on this channel. Hi everyone, thank you and welcome to Sparkle with Christy. Today we have Oyinlola Adedipe with us. Oyinlola is a finance specialist or
finance
professional. Okay.
I actually go with finance professional.
Okay, and then she's also the CEO for Akore Design District. Akore, I don't know if I pronounce it well.
So it's good to go.
Okay, so but is Akore an English name or is it, French? Because looking at you, one would think that it's, one English or French name. So
I don't understand this reputation that you used to give me. But if you're right, actually, so it's supposed to be Akore.
Okay.
Like this is fashion, this is style. But I think I'm also a culprit. Everybody has just gone around to calling it Akore Design District, so I just adapted that. But that's the real meaning.
Alright, so thank you for being on this channel with us. So Sparkle with Christy is actually focused on personal branding, career development, entrepreneurship, and the reason why you're on this channel, is because we're having our leadership series, and I when I thought about it, I'm like, who is that person that is all encompassing, right? Someone who embodies everything that this channel is about, right?
Wow.
I
should go by Sparkle now.
And I couldn't find any other person to fit in, for first as what I call the maiden edition of the leadership series.
People are coming for you.
Than Oyinlola, so it's really an honor to have her on this channel with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Oyinlola, what inspired you to go into finance? Looking at you, if anyone asked me, Christy, what profession do you think this lady is in? I would say tech.
Or marketing.
Or
business development.
Exactly.
I
Never would I have thought that you're into finance. So what inspired you to start a career in finance?
There was no inspiration.
Really?
Unfortunately. So it happened on me. So the story I tell you all the time. Senior secondary school, it was a time to pick electives.
Okay.
And they had given me like a few options. It was food and nutrition, home management, and then accounting was there. I was like, I can learn food at home, I can learn to manage my house at home, but I can't learn accounting at home. So I decided to take that. And then it just started to land on me well. The debit was debiting, the credit was crediting, and it was like, okay. And that's really how it happened. But I was still fixated on my arts and my humanities because that was my core. I was an art student. But right out of school, I tried to get in for law. It wasn't working. So I was like, okay, let me go in for English. That was the next alternative. And my dad was like, since you already have this accounting thing, why not try to register for these accounting bodies rather? So if you don't have to do like your classic school, you can do the exams and be certified. So that's how it happened rather. I registered at the time for ACCA, and I was working somewhere, working as an engineer. My ENG for English became ENGR for engineer. I was selling, it was sewage treatment plants, right? So it was all this biodegradable, all these things that we're talking about now.
Yeah.
It's actually what I was doing then, all them ESG related matters.
Climate, everything.
Yeah. So while I was working there, someone sent me the advertisement for KPMG, and I just applied and I got in, and I guess that's how it started. Yeah, that's how it started.
So I was going to come to KPMG and PWC. Being two of the big fours, and now you've worked with them, right? You started your career there, right? And then you're now in the FMCG space, precisely beverage industry, right? So coming from
beverage,
as in,
well, we don't do ice cream though.
You don't do milkshake.
But we do Baileys, yeah.
Okay.
And then we can inculcate it in our
I'm going
matrix.
to act like I don't know the organization that she works with, or
Yeah. So please buy Baileys and put it in your milkshake.
Baileys needs to pay me for this. Influencer.
It's paying my salary.
It's paying our salary. Okay, so what inspired you to, or what? No, not inspiration this time. I think it will be challenges that you faced in the beverage industry for someone who came from a financial institution, and then consulting, to be precise, and then you're coming into the industry. What has been your challenge so far? How's been the experience? Do you think you're going to be here longer, or you probably want to go back to? I don't know. Let me drop that question. Has been the experience? What are the challenges?
I think with consulting it's a very good place to start, right? It gives you a broad overview of different industries.
Yeah.
So moving into FMCG, it wasn't entirely new. I mean, I hadn't worked in.
But streamlined.
It wasn't exactly, but it was. I had to sing and engage with different FMCG companies in consulting.
Yeah.
So I sort of had an idea of what it was about. But the major thing I dealt with was not even getting used to the industry or anything, or the work, because I just dealt with work. We figure it out somehow. It was the structure. So consulting is very hierarchical in nature. So at the level I left, you had like assistant managers, you had senior associates, you had associates, you had people, a whole team working with you. But with the FMCG thing or the industry thing that I work now, it's very flat. Such that you're doing everything pretty much by yourself to a large extent. So what I had then was a little psychological struggle with having to build my models from the start to finish. Coming from where, I did do some, maybe not model building, but some navigation with Excel when I was an associate, which was a lot of years ago. But now came into the industry, having to do all of that afresh, going even deeper, navigating these tools that I probably had never used or not used as much, and then building models, doing all of these things by myself, start to finish. What I would say is that it is good because it deepens your experience in all of these non-technical aspects of things, right? It also helps you understand the entire value chain of the process, from start to finish. So I think it's good to have. Will I do it I'm already getting to, now in the industry, I'm getting to the level where I'm able to at least help. So I'm seeing that I'm moving now to a place where I'm not having to, to some extent, do all of that groundwork. Having some of the analysts who are willing to learn and work with me, run them through how it's done, they do it, I look through it. So I think I'm now merging both structures together, and it's working pretty fine.
Amazing. So I think the very first time I had an encounter with you, I don't know if you remember our first encounter.
It was on the phone.
It was on the phone.
I was working from home.
I think I went to Instagram to stalk you at the time because I was just intrigued. I'm like, who is this lady that is, that speaks so well, and I'm not surprised that you're that. You wanted to do English at the time, right? But then
I didn't want to. Please get some point of correction.
Okay, so you
English is the one that happened on me.
Okay, English happened on you, right? So I'm actually not surprised. And I think from our first interaction, I'm like, who is this person that is new to Guinness? And cut that. But who is this person that is that is new and that I've just spoken to? I was just really intrigued, and I wanted to have further interactions with you. And I'm not trying to flatter you, I'm just telling you the plain truth, So, but I think what fascinated me the most was your passion for entrepreneurship, right? Being a finance professional, I see how much effort you put into your work, the diligence, the staring into your laptop even till late nights, and then combining that with entrepreneurship, being the CEO of Akore Design District. And please, I want everyone to be clear. Oyinlola sews every outfit that she wears. I don't think Oyinlola wears any other brand apart from her own brand, and you know, it's really fascinating. So I would like to know, I have signed the fact that I know that you're a super mom, you're a traveler, you know, you're so many other things, right? How do you combine entrepreneurship and, you know, your career as a finance professional?
First of all, when you meet me, right? Sorry about the I really don't say that. When you meet me, I like you to meet the whole person. Right? So if you see me walking down the road, you probably hear Jesus, finance, fashion, coaching. Within your first few minutes of encountering me, everybody will probably say that. So I, first of all, bring my whole self to my daily life. So that first helps me balance things to some extent. And then I need the help of people. And I put structures in place. So for my coaching academy, which you didn't touch on, I have a very nice team of lovely volunteers. For Akore, I have the whole structure. I have my tailors, I have my business manager, I have my executive assistant. I keep things running. At home, right, I have people who help me with the house in general, cooking, getting the house ready, and all of that. So I think that's the reason that I'm able to balance it all. So for example, I'm working in the office till God knows what time, but I know that food is sorted in the house. I also have a lesson teacher for my son, right, who comes to help me with assignments on a daily, right, so that also takes that off of me to some extent. Days that I get in early enough, I can help with the assignment if they haven't done it. And then what I try to do is also on weekends I try to cook, spend time with my son. Evenings as well, when I get in on time and he's not in bed yet, spend time with him. It's not the amount really, it's the quality. So we have fun, talk about our days. I have an amazing time. I think I'm his best friend, and he's becoming my best friend now. You know, so I think, and I'm very, very keen and intentional about being super in everything that I do. I like the spirit of excellence. So I want to be excellent at my work.
It radiates all
excellent
over
at what I do, excellent at home. I try to do the best that I can to show up well. You know, I think that helps triaging all of these things, right? Per time it will change. So on Monday it could be work that's most important. On Tuesday it could be the home that's most important. On Wednesday it could be my business that's most important. So every day I triage my life to see what's taking priority at this time. So everybody kind of just gets a part of me. So with the structure, with the intentionality, with the triaging, and with the people that are helping me is how I combine and able to do everything.
So I actually picked two things from what you said. First is structure. Second is, you know, having a very strong support system. And I think that...
Sorry, my parents too. Big part of my support system. My parents and my siblings.
Shout out to our parents.
I cannot leave the life I live without my parents and my siblings.
Okay, so I mean, those are the two things that I've picked, structure and good support system. And I'm really glad that we're in March, 20th March, right, which is the Women's Month, and we're talking about this because, you know, you find out that, you know, in this part of the world, especially Africa, precisely Nigeria, a lot of women, you know, want to juggle everything on their own, right? You know, to the point where they get burnt out, you know, stressed, frustrated, depressed, you know, and some people find it difficult to get help, right? And to think that from what you said, you know, I could pick that, you know, you've normalized, which every other woman out there needs to do. You need to normalize having a structure, you need to normalize having a support system. You don't necessarily have to do everything yourself. Don't get burnt out, right? So I'm really inspired by what you said, right? And I think that it's really fantastic. So thank you so much for inspiring young women like myself.
I'm still pretty young, please. I'm 17. Let's just put it out there.
Okay, amazing. So I think that will lead me to, you know, the conversation around entrepreneurship and career, and especially, you know, touching on Akore Design District, right? Oyinlola, your passion for fashion is very...
Passion for fashion.
I know, right? your passion for fashion is really evident, right? I mean, when you step into a room, everybody knows that Oyinlola stepped into that room. And I'm talking because I know her, right? I've, had the opportunity to work in the same work environment with her, right? So everyone knows that Oyinlola, like, you come, like you said earlier, you come with your whole self, right? Everything that this channel talks about, which I am proud of, is what you embody.
My name is Sparkle. That's my new name.
So what was the inspiration behind, Akore Design District? Was it the fact that you love or you're passionate about fashion? Was that what inspired you to, to venture into that clothing line?
I believe you can develop passion rather. So, because I don't know that I can remember when I was young that I was a doll maker or anything. I was a very random girl. I was not a girl's girl per se. But I think what really started it was, so I have a very interesting shape. Where my waist is, the proportion between my waist and my hips are not as typical. So I found out that every time I bought clothes from a supermarket or from somebody, a vendor, I still ended up at the tailor's place. I was either adjusting my waist or adjusting my hips. And it got tiring. And I said, you know what, how about I make my clothes myself? That's how it started. So I started to make my clothes myself to work.
Yeah.
And then someone said, oh, I like what you're wearing. And then I was like, I can make money from this thing. And then, can you make what you're wearing? And then that's how it started, really. So it was just born out of that. And then with every passing day, because I have come to dress myself every day, I have now learned to seek out things that inspire me. And then now it's just become a whole part of me where I even enjoy doing it. It's not like my pastime. It's like my what's the word now? When you want to escape place?
Yeah.
When you're stressed, distress. Yeah, it's also my distress button. I've come to enjoy doing it. So yeah, that's how it started. That's the inspiration behind it, really.
And I noticed that you have a style. I don't know how to put it, but you have a style in terms of the kind of clothing that you make, right? So can you tell us about it, right? And you guys need to go and follow Akore Design District on Instagram. I think Instagram and where else?
Instagram mainly.
Yeah, Instagram. Yeah.
I'm trying to build TikTok. I just need time to do the videos.
Okay.
My people at home are trying to get me to do TikTok, so I'm hoping that they succeed because I hear TikTok is a place to be. So yes, eventually TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't know how do I describe my style. My style is different. So I'm a Jesus girl. So like I'm also always trying to be as decent as I can. So I try to add decency to a little fun, to quirky, to boho, to sexy. That's why I would have all my neck covered or just take a portion of my shoulder out. So I like to just put everything together. So I don't know, my style changes from time to time, depending on the event, but you can tell that my style is very comfortable. I like comfort. I like modest to some extent. I think most of my clothing can be considered modest. I like comfort, modesty, a little bit of sexy. Yeah, that's my style. That's my style, really. It could evolve. Tomorrow it could be something else, but at this point in time, that's a summary of my style.
Noted. Okay, so I think that will bring me to my, next Oyinlola that I really admire, and that's the fact that, how you would hear, oh, career woman, and sometimes you feel like, career people are boring people. Oyinlola is not a boring person, right? Not at all.
I don't know about that. I think I'm boring, but go ahead. A lot of people will not agree with you about me not being boring.
Oyinlola is not a boring person. So I want you to advise young people, right? Because I noticed that a lot of young people are really deviating from the career. Everybody wants to start their business, right? And really, not everybody can have a business, become an entrepreneur, right? In quotes, right? So there's that tendency to want to move to the career space, or to move away from the career space and want to start their business. Because if you ask me, I've had people say things like, oh, Gen Zs are not career driven, right? You know, they don't have the typical work ethics that, you know.
Remember, I'm 17, guys. I'm Gen Alpha.
I'm not going to say anything.
Gen Z for life, yeah.
How would you advise young people that are running from the career world, because there's that pressure to say, or there's that, you know, I don't know whether to call it a misconception that Gen Zs are lazy, are not, you know, they don't have the work ethics that, you know, those who have gone ahead of us, you know, have, right? But you don't come off like the typical career person. Yeah. So there's the fun part, there's a serious part of you, right? And I think that's what a lot of Gen Zs want. They don't want a job that bores them. They don't want a job that they would have to stay, you know, they're working in a particular role for like 5 years, 4 years, no promotion and things like that. So what would be your advice to young people who really want to be in the career space, but, you know, the work environment that we have these days, or it's not welcoming for a lot of, you know, Gen Zs in quotes?
I think the first thing I would say is whatever your hand find them to do, do it well. Yeah. So this applies to work and play. So everybody that encounters me tends to say that I play hard and I work hard. So I don't know about playing hard these days. I think working hard will take you more than playing hard. But we'll see about that. But yeah, so I think it's about whatever your hands find to do. So like I said earlier, the spirit of excellence, right? It's we're hoping of us naturally as just people who want to do right by ourselves. Yeah. To try to be excellent at what we do. So if this entails me working a certain amount of time so I can deliver a task, I will do that, right? With respect to career. So that way you're putting yourself forward, you're doing your work as you should, and you're excelling the career space. Because what happens is if you do work well, things start to pan out for you. You start to stand out, your work is being known as, oh, Oyi does work for you, or it's fine, or if you want to get work done, give Oyi. Things like that. You start to have like a brand. And then when you want to play, apply same pressure. You know? So you play well as well. You know, you put excellence in your play. You know, that's the way you do this thing, and that's how you balance this life. So you can't not play and then not work, or overwork and not play, or overplay and not work. You know, you have to sort of be excellent at play and be excellent at work. Such that when people see you, they're struggling to place, is she a career person, is she a play person, what's she really about? And then they start to meet different facets of you and see that, oh, okay, she's an amazing career person. Oh, okay, she's an amazing play person. Oh, and then you appeal to different people, and life is nicer, better. You know?